if you have gotten your study permit approved and you're kind of thinking, when should I arrive in Canada? Okay, now on the IRCC website, it is usually and very clearly stated that, well, there is no set time to arrive in Canada. You should just arrive at a time to give you enough, weeks or days or whatever, to give you sufficient time to prepare yourself and to get ready for resumption. Let's say you are coming in September and by April, your visa has already been approved. Should I just come in May or just wait till August or thereabout before I should resume? The same with if you're applying for January and then you already have your study permit, and for May as well. Now, there are some things that you should know that will really help you to make an informed decision, okay? One of the first things you want to know is that when your study permit is approved, you cannot, even though you are inside of Canada, you can come at any time. If you come like 4 months or 3 months to the start of your program, well, good for you. But the downside is that you will not be able to work until you actually start your classes. So I've seen cases, people will say, oh, you know what, I have my study permit, let me just go to Canada and just work for about 3 months or 2 months and raise some funds before the start of the program. Okay, this is not going to work. It is clearly stated it has to be the time when you register for classes, you started your classes. That is actually when you can start working. So which means if you arrive 3 months prior and you are not working, obviously you shouldn't work because it is illegal. If you work, and there are a lot of things that actually are a lot of issues, right? Number one, if you've not registered for classes, you're not going to get an enrollment letter. If you don't have an enrollment letter, when you go to the bank to register for enrollment, to register for your bank, account and all that, they're going to tell you where is your enrollment letter, okay? And if you're going to register for health, they're going to ask you, where is your enrollment letter? Okay, so imagine being in Canada for about 3 months and you don't really have your health, card. It's going to be an issue. Okay, although in some cases they may allow, but for the most part, they're going to ask you to provide your recent enrollment letter. This enrollment letter is not your admission letter, okay? Admission letter is what you use to apply for your visa. This enrollment letter is the letter they give you after you have registered for courses and for classes. Then you're not going to be termed a full-time student, okay? So if you don't get your bank account, then it's also going to be another challenge, okay? Because if you want to work here, they mostly require for what's called a direct deposit, and direct deposit is mostly going to be your bank. Okay, your bank is the one that will give you a direct deposit form, so that when you're applying for any kind of job, you actually submit that form, to the bank. Okay, so it's going to be very challenging. And even when you want to get a house, sometimes they want to see, what are you doing in Canada? That's very important. If you say you are a student, they're going to say, okay, they want to probably ask you to pay some kind of deposit, okay, before they give you a house. And if you don't have a bank account, how are you actually going to pay those deposits? So overall, if you arrive too early, except you have a family member that you're staying with and just want to cruise in Canada for about 2-3 months and just enjoy the weather, and you can go fun things. You don't need any special, because you already have a status. So they're already going to give you study permit at the port of entry. So you already have a study permit, so you can do some stuff. So if you want to have fun and all that, that is very much fine, okay? But apart from that, it's going to be very difficult for you to cope, especially if you are coming on, because you are just mostly going to be like a visitor, okay, until your study permit actually, your conditions in your study permit actually stipulates you to be registered as a full-time student. It is when you register as a full-time student that all of the conditions on your study permit are going to be fully met, okay? That is another thing. But sometimes you may ask, okay, but I have my co-op. maybe you apply for a program that has a co-op work permit. I have this work permit. Can't I work with that work permit? No. That particular work permit is a closed work permit and is specifically going to be for internship or for co-op. You can't use that to start working full-time, okay? And in terms of the 20 hours per week, yes, for those that are getting study permit new, from 2023, 2023 upward, you can't work more than 20 hours per week. It is only applicable to those that got a study permit before, I think, in October 2022, so they can keep working more than 20 hours. But if that doesn't apply to you, you won't be able to work full-time, okay? You won't be able to work full-time. You have to stick to that 20 hours per week. So if you resume a month to, that is very reasonable. That gives you ample time to sort out your accommodation. And actually, if you arrive early, even though classes have not actually started, you can enroll for classes maybe like 1 to 2 weeks before the classes actually start. So you don't have to wait for the first day of classes. So which means 2 weeks before the start of classes, you're actually going to have your enrollment letter, okay? When you have your enrollment letter, you can start doing things like getting on all your bank details and everything, and then the bank may also give you a credit card. Depends on if you have any kind of income, or if you have maybe money from your home country, or they will decide whatever conditions they want to review. For my own case, because I had the scholarship, it means that when I spend money on the credit card, I can pay back. So I don't think if you don't have scholarship and you don't have anything, I don't really think they will give you a credit card. But if they give you, well, congratulations, you can use it. But make sure you have every means to get it sorted out, because if you don't and your interest rates start going up, on your credit card, and it's really going to affect your credit score, right, which is going to be beneficial to you. So don't spoil your credit, right, because of just missed payment. So you can do your accommodation. In terms of settling out your accommodation, well, if you are able to get a temporary accommodation, maybe Airbnb, that is also good, so that when you come, you can now look for a permanent accommodation, because most times here, you're going to sign a 1-year lease, right? Or maybe 6 months to 1-year lease. And you don't want to sign a lease and then come and discover that it's a scrap place. And you can't just leave, right? If you want to leave, and so you're definitely going to forfeit some money, or pay some money rather, if you want to break the lease. So I usually don't recommend, except someone that is in that city and they are able to go through and do a video call for you on the apartment, right? Or if the particular landlord, if they have a video recording of the place, the house, the room, and you watch the video and it's okay, this is something I like, definitely you can go for it, okay? But just make sure that it's really something that you are really looking out for. I remember when I was moving from St. John's to Edmonton, there were a couple of houses that I saw online. It looked beautiful. The pictures were nice. But when I told one of my friends in Edmonton to go do a video call, I was like, no, this place is crap, okay? So you have to always do that. And then, if you also come maybe 3 weeks to 1 month to the start of classes, that also gives you enough time to start thinking about what kind of work are you going to apply for, okay? You can start applying for work, okay, even before classes start, because work doesn't come so easy. So you can start applying for jobs, do your CV and other things, start applying for job, because when we apply for, they're going to ask you, are you legally allowed to work in Canada? You can definitely say yes, because once classes start, all the conditions of your study permit are going to be, just straight up, right? So yeah, so don't arrive too early, like I said, except you have a family member. And well, if you also have the money to spend, if you arrive 3 months and you have money to stay in an Airbnb for that long, well, that's also good for you, because to even get an actual apartment, then you need to sometimes show what is called proof of address to do a lot of things, right? And if you don't have any, if you don't have any work, or sometimes with the bank details and all that, getting an accommodation might be a little bit challenging. But if you have the means to pay, maybe from your home country you have a credit card that can pay the deposit, then why not? Definitely go for it. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. And if you really enjoyed this video, why not consider liking this video? It's going to help the YouTube algorithm recommend this video to other people. And also, if you are not subscribed to this channel, do want to hit that subscribe button so that whenever new videos are released, you will be the first person to get notified. So once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Cheers.